Be blessed by the divine. May the whole world enjoy prosperity, wisdom, happiness, and peace. May we all be blessed with good health, long life, enough wealth, prosperity, wisdom, and peace. So let us start today with salutations to God and salutations to our Guru. Salutations to God. God, the primordial state transformed into the atom or the life energy. The atoms combine to form different elements, which in turn combine to form the cosmic objects and the universe. This divine state, with its infinite consciousness, also manifested as the senses between life and death. This consciousness also guides humans to lead a spiritual way of life. Let us realize this divine state, serve the world, and find true happiness. Salutations to Guru. My dear Guru, you showed me the way to control my thoughts and stay in peace. In that state, when my mind stays still, a great joy springs from there. As the end goal of so many births in this great world, you gave me a life of constant awareness. This is my happy news to you. This is my happy news to you. May the divine power protect us, guide us, and lead us in all our activities, day and night, at all times and at all places. So, good morning, each and every one of you. Today, I welcome you all to the last class of this Introspection 3, and we are going to end up this introspection, and you are promoted to go further in your meditation process. And the next will be the Brahmanyanam course. You have to do it. So it's also available. I don't know, I'm not sure. Like it might be available online, but I wish you a very blissful life in the coming days. So today you're going to have two topics. The first one is the two and fivefold moral principle. The second one will be Karma Yoga, and another teacher will be um, discussing about the Karma Yoga from 8:30 to 9:30. The first topic, as you know, we will talk about the two and fivefold moral principles. Right. So in this world, each and every living organism, from the one sense organs to the six sense organs until the life of human, we all want to live our life happily. So that's our aim, that's our goal, that's our motivation. So we are getting married in order to live our life happy, for getting children, for going for a job and getting money, all those things, or directly or indirectly helping us to keep happy. So we are wandering all over the world in order to keep us happy. So this happiness, once once the basic needs are satisfied, like the basic needs are the food, shelter, and the clothes. So if these three things are satisfied, then we need to concentrate our, we need to spend our time in the surroundings by some other means. Because we have more time, we need to spend fruitfully in the surroundings. Then comes the art in the sense like, um, you know, seeing the nature, enjoying the nature, and trying to replicate the nature. So by this way, slowly we are developing something. So once the art, nature is satisfied, and we are trying to, promote ourselves, or you can say we are trying to extend ourselves further to spend our time in a fruitful way. So by this way, by series of time, if you carry over your time for more than 5,000 years ago, the people who are living in a particular place, they are developing certain facts, or you can say they are developing certain habits, and those habits which will reform into a culture. So that's what we are calling it as a culture. So the culture doesn't happen in 1 or 2 days or like 100 or 200 years. It should be happen like more than 1,000 years. The habits changes into one culture. So let me give you an example. Say, for example, a father is a priest and he is trying to perform some, you know, yogas in the sense, um, in those days, if something in marriages, they will perform some rituals. Those type of rituals is trying to do it. So that father, he always bring his son in his rituals. So wherever he goes, whether it's good or bad, he will take his son. So one day, what happened when he was trying to do the ritual? A cat, a cat came at that time. Actually, it's a foster cat, and it was disturbing the ritual on and off. So what the father did is he tried to catch the cat and tied with a knot uh, nearby, a nearby place so that the cat won't disturb him. And this happens like 2 or 3 times in his rituals. So what the son thought that, oh, this is one of the kind of a ritual. So when the son have grown up and when he was trying to do those ritual, the son thought that, oh, I need to tie a cat in order to do this ritual. So the habit becomes like a culture, and we are repeating the culture knowingly or unknowingly, or whether understanding or without understanding, or knowing the cause or without knowing the cause. We are trying to replicate the things. The same thing happens like in terms of sati. You have heard about the ritual called sati. The once the husband dies, the wife has to suicide herself uh, by jumping into the fire of her husband. So that ritual, that's one of the culture in olden days, and slowly it has been changed. In the same way, so many rituals and so many things, so many habits are performed like a culture, and slowly we are trying to change, we are trying to eradicate if it's not suitable for the current situation. So this is what our Maharishi, our Guru has given to all of us. The thing is, we need to reform our culture according to the present situation. Say, for example, uh, if you take uh, between the thoughts between a parent and a kid, definitely there will be a long generation gap. As a parent, we have grown in 1990s and 2000, like 30 years back. At that time, we have not seen an internet like how the Wi-Fi and everything, like how in present situation. But the kids who are growing up now, they are saying with the touch phone and everything, and with the Wi-Fi connection with the 5G and everything, and they do not know about the floppy disk, and even nowadays the CDs are going to extent. They are using only the flash drive. So those kind of things, what do you call it, is civilization, the growth of civilization, the growth of science. So this is called the generation gap, and we may not compare this generation kids with what we have bought up. So we should not say that I have seen all those things, I have suffered a lot, I have lied down on the mat and slept on the mat, and you're sleeping on a bed. It's not like that. We should not compare like that. We need to reform our activities according to the present situation. See, even 10 years back, we are controlling our kids. Do not try to use the phone. Do not try to use the laptops, and do not try to use the electronic gadgets. And we limit to them. We limit to in hours. But now what happens in this COVID situation? each and every one of us need to use it, need to, or we are forced to use the gadgets because of the online classes. So we can't say that you have to use only 1 hour or 2 hour. So because we are solely depend on it. So we have to reform our habits. At the same time, we have to reform our culture wherever is needed. It doesn't mean that you have to change the whole culture. It's not like that. Wherever is needed, wherever the reforms is needed, we need to do a slight changes. At the same time, what Maharishi is explaining it, do not go all at once and do not tell them to change. Hey, this is wrong and this is a mistake. Change this and change that. No, it's not like that. Slowly we have to understand them, because that also leads to a lot of problems. We need to understand, and we need to understand for what these rituals are happened. Say for example, if you go inside a temple, so uh, we are praying the statue. Some people will say that it's only a statue, it's only a stone, and some people will say that it's a god. And we should need to understand what is the science behind that, why they have created, why the statue, why the idol is created, and for what reason they have created. We should understand the concept. In those days, like more than 2000 years ago, because our rituals are coming from more than 5000 years old. So in those days, the civilization is not that much developed as what we are. The science is not developed, and they do not find words to explain the magnetic concept, because they have, the science is not developed, and they do not have the words to explain the concept. So what they are thinking that, instead of explaining all those things, indirectly they are keeping, indirectly they are mentioning, okay, go to the particular place which is called as a temple, and you just pray to someone who is superior than you. And the same thing, I mean, our consciousness is thinking about the same thing. Our consciousness decides, okay, go and worship the god, the statue, which is made up of the stones. The stones, apart from the human being, the stones are the secondary thing which can absorb the aura rays from the universe. That means it can absorb the magnetic waves from the universe. So that's the kind of thing. And they kept it in a dome, and above the dome they kept the khalsa. The khalsa, it's made up of the seven different metals, including gold, copper, and everything. So those metals are ready to absorb the universal magnetism, and after observing the universal magnetism, it tries to spread downwards to the stone which is present in the temple. And hence, when you go to the temple early morning or early afternoon, I mean, by the end of the day, the magnetic waves which is present in the stone, it tries to go out, so that the pathway, if you see the pathway of the temple, it will be so small, so that the magnetic waves passes out and spreads out to all over the people who are standing nearby. It's like the temple is like an energy source, the source of energy. So for that reason, um, our ancestors have created something in order to, get the magnetic energy waves in one or other means, so that we will get the magnetic waves and we will find peace in our life. So this is like it as developed in olden civilization. But now, once the science has developed, once our civilization has developed, once our sixth sense have improving it, so we need to perform the habits, we need to reform our habits and rituals, what else needed in the present situation in the 21st century. Of course, what our Maharishi is explaining is, of course, this statue worship is needed for the kids who are less than 14 years of age, because till 14 years of age, they won't understand the concept of magnetism. But nowadays, even at the age of 8 and 9, they're trying to understand. Even my son is trying to understand the concept of magnetism. Slowly, they are understanding the concept, but the civilization is improving. So we try to explain that. Until then, they need some, some a good path to follow. They need some discipline to follow in their life, because the discipline is very important in order to make ourselves happy, at the same time make others to be happy. So that discipline is needed, like how we are going right always while driving a car. We have the right to go anywhere in this place, but still then we are driving our car on the right side because it's a privilege. Since it's a privilege, we are riding always on the right because we need to live happy and safe. At the same time, we make others to drive safe. So this is what we need to understand, and whatever Guru Maharishi says is, wherever performs, I mean, wherever reforms are needed, we need to do it. Even in his teachings, he said that, okay, I'm giving these kind of meditation, I'm giving these kind of introspections. In future, after like 10 years or 20 years, if my thoughts and my sayings needs reforms, then definitely you can do that. He gave that uh, you know that freedom for us to reform even his actions as well as his teachings. And we have a research community in Alia, and they are keep on uh, you know keep on moralizing, as well as keep on uh, eye on what our Maharishi said. And they are doing reforms each and every time, slight reforms, not the basic concept. The basic concept remains the same, and they are doing the reform slightly all over the things. Like this, particularly, one thing what they did is, our meditation is common for all those people, whether they belong to Hindu, Christian, or Muslim, Jews, or whatever. Maybe it's common to all. So in those days when Maharishi was there, we used to call Sakti Kalam as well as the Siva Kalam. But later, the research, the team, they found that the Sakti Kalam is it's like a Hindu word, and other people like Hindu and, I mean, the Christians and Muslim, they don't want to try to use a word, so they use a common word for all of them, like absolute space as well as the universal magnetism, so that all the people will try to do meditation and they will get benefited. So like that, the reforms are always going on. So the concept here is, we need to understand the morals, and we need to um, reform our culture wherever is needed. So always this culture is, it's like evaluation of habits for the betterment and perfection of the culture. And for what these all these cultures are there, for seeing divinity in everything and not inflicting pain upon others. So we should not inflict pain on others wherever, the religion, if you talk about, um, they try to help others, and they are not inflicting pain upon others, whether either physically or mentally. And of course, they mention helping others always in their distress. So helping others is the main motive in all the religion. It's common in all the religion or culture, whatever maybe. So one of the great saint, Thiruvalluvar, have said that people endowed with sharp intelligence is treated as tree in lack of human spirit. So even if a human is high in sharp intelligence, if he is not having the human spirit, then he is considered as a tree, like as a moving less. It's standstill of, he's compared to the tree without helping others. So this is the theme we need to understand. Of course, tree is helping others by giving oxygen and shelter. That's a kind of a different thing. But here, what the great saint trying to uh, understand the point here is, even if a particular person, because we person, we are having six suns, but the trees are in the one sun. Even the one sense are trying to help, but we are the sixth sense and we are having sharp intelligence. But if you don't have the human spirit, then it's of no use having those sharp intelligence. And also, the love and civilized manners make the human culture, the human culture. When the man will become cultured, when he have the love and compassion to the other living organisms. Right. So whenever when there will be a change in culture, the external world has changed now from the Stone Age to the computer age. The culture also changes accordingly. See, the culture what we are having now, we won't say that the same culture happened like what we are following it before 1,000 years or before 2,000 years. Definitely, there might be a change because the Britishers invaded us, the Mughals invaded us, and some part of culture from them also might be incorporated. We do not know that. And the culture is changing on accordingly. The nature is trying to change. If one follows the tradition just by habit, even if it become obsolete, it leads to conflict and miseries in everyday life. So it's even if you're following our tradition just by habit, you should know the reason behind that. You should know the science behind that. Then only, even if it is obsolete, even if it is a good thing, the conflicts and miseries will not be developed in each and every day's life. So we should follow a tradition not just by habit, by understanding the concept and by understanding the science behind that. And then definitely each and every one of us will follow. Not only our culture will be followed by our people, but other peoples will also be. Um, there is a chance for them also to get incorporate our culture within them. And whatever Maharishi said as human life should undergo reforms always. This is what our Guru said. This is, the freedom which our Guru is giving to us. I hope this will not be there in any of the, um, the kind of organization, because they will say that you have to follow this, you have to follow this, whether you like it or not, whether you understand it or not. And this is the reason behind it. If you come to this organization, you have to follow. But here, our Maharishi is explaining the human life should undergo reforms. Many actions have evolved corresponding to the space and time and the need of the period, because these reforms are always needed. The object that you are contact with, and the time and the space that you are contact with, because the actions will be different when you contact with your mother, the actions will be different when you contact your wife, the actions will be different when you contact your kids. And the space and the time is also different. If your kid is at 5 years, your behavior and your actions will be different. And if your kid is 15 years and 20 years, and your action will be different. Yeah, so we will know the difference in that. The same way, the actions that what we are performing will be different to different kind of people, and that should be civilized. If any such actions or concept may cause harm to present or future, or in the thought, we should not follow that and we shall shun them. So this is the concept given by our Guru Maharishi. So by our actions, by any means, we should not harm ourselves or others. Say, for example, if I'm eating more, then I'm harming myself, right? So I'm beating my kid, I'm harming my kids. If I'm scolding my wife, I'm harming my wife. At the same time, that in turn will come back to me. That's a different kind of thing. Like that's a cause and effect system. The particular thing is either by thought or by word or by action, we should not harm ourselves. And at the same time, we should not harm others, either today or by any other means or in future, whatever means. So if you feel that the word, the thoughts and actions are harming others and ourselves, we should shun them. We should forcefully shun them by means of strong mental uh, force. Okay, that's called the willpower. With the willpower, because some habits will follow. Because if I like the curd rice more, I will try to take more because my father likes it more. It comes like in a heredity. So I should stop the limit. I should know the limit. I should stop it. If I'm not stopping it, the problems which my father faces, the same thing I'm going to face it. So here the sixth sense works with the help of willpower. I should know where I should stop it because of the cause and effect system. The same thing, the reforms should be happen in individual culture. We should realize the divine energy as the nature. So we will call it as God, and we will call it as different names. We can call it as nature, whatever may be. The common name will be the divine energy. So it's a nature. It's created by nature. We should be cautious enough to keep away from bad habits which may lead to harmful effects. Of course, we have full freedom to do anything and everything in this world, but we should aware of the bad habits. Because we are having six senses, we should be aware of the bad habits, and we should know if we do this habit and that lead to the harmful effects. So we should not do that. So we should stop them. So we should identify those kind of actions, and we should avoid them, and we should find out the actions which are beneficial to the humankind, and we should follow them. So particularly the smoking and the drinking, all those kind of things we should avoid it. So if you see in Indian culture in olden days, before 30 or 40 years, it's a sin, it's a crime. But nowadays, even in the movies, they're showing it up like as a normal thing. Even the heroes and superheroes are drinking the most. So when you compare the US cinemas with the Indian cinemas, uh, the use of drugs are more in Indian cinemas rather than the foreign cinemas. So that should be avoided. The people should get aware, and that should be avoided. And giving, um, the giving is one of the good thing that we should follow it up, whether by means of you can give the food, you can give the money, or you can give your words, or you can give your knowledge. So whatever from your side, you can give it to others. So whatever great saint said, the learn without blemishes, stay as per what you have learned. That means what you are learning that you should follow in your life. So, uh, learning is not like you are just learning from the books and you just vanishing it off. You are trying to follow it up in your life. So, whatever you learned in your life. So, as virtue fetches nobility, it is be treated superior to. So, virtue always considered as a noble thing that is always treated superior in life, in each and everyone's life. Right. So these are the four evils that should be kept always away from the humankind. The first is intoxication, the drinking. The second thing is war, the war between the countries. Now the countries are more organized in showing how they are better and how other countries are bitter. The war should be kept away. The untruth, the particularly lies. So we should not lie to each other. Whatever the truth, we should speak the truth, whether it is uh, good or bad. Good or bad in the sense, what we did, we are speaking it, right? So what we are not doing, we should not speak that. So if there is if there is not a correlation between the action for what we did and the words what we are speaking, then that is called as a lie. So if it happened to speak a lie, then don't try to do that. If you think that your action is a mistake and you want to hide it, and you want to say it a lie, then don't do that action. Try to reform yourself. And tobacco, of course, tobacco, that's one of the leading thing organism. I'm sorry, that's the leading The thing happened that the cause of lung cancer, and what our government is doing. One side they are giving license for the production, the other side they are giving a warning: if you use the tobacco products, you will end up with the lung cancer. It's like, it's like pinching a kid at the same time giving feeding the kid on the other way. It's not good actually. So there should be like a strong decision should be come up from the government, as well as a strong decision should be come up from the humankind, that all these things should be avoided or should be eradicated from the human life. So intoxication, war, and truth, and tobacco. So these are the four major reasons uh, that leads to evil in the human life, that causes the problems in the human life. And our Guru Maharishi have given a poem in Jnanamum Varvum. What he said is, not inflicting harm to others is virtue. No need for anything more. When I was, when I was trying to do the meditation with Maharishi in 2003, I hope so. I usually go for the speech. He usually gives speech for 2 days. On, if I remember perfectly, on Tuesday and Thursday, or Wednesday or Friday. So it will be 2 days in a week. He will give speech for 1 hour. So we will go all the way for driving, like, for traveling 1.5 hours to hear a speech. Still, I remember he said that he will say, like, do meditation, do exercise for the health, and do meditation for your soul and mind, do introspection. He will all say all those things, and at the end he will say, even if you're not able to do exercise, okay, it's good. Even if you're not able to do meditation, even if you're not able to do introspection, the only thing what you can do is, do not harm others. That is the word. Even I remember the words comes from him. Do not harm others. Even if you're not helping others, okay, it's good. Even if you're not doing meditation, okay, it's good. Even if you're not doing exercise, it's fine. Even if you're not doing introspection, it's fine. But do not harm others by any ways, by heart or by actions, by thought or whatever may be. Do not harm others. Definitely you will get elevated. So this is the word comes from the our Guru Maharishi. So if you're not able to do anything, leave it, but do not harm any others by thoughts or words or actions or whatever. So this was given here, and our great saint Thiruvalur has also mentioned about the virtues. This we have seen at the virtue fetches the nobility, and it's considered the superior than the life. Right now, Maharishi has given fivefold moral code. So what are the fivefold principle? What are the fivefold moral should be followed? Of course, those who are following it up, this it's fine, but some of them it will be a new thing. But do not think that how can I follow all those things? It's not like that. When you do meditation, when you do exercise, normally these five moral principles will automatically come within you once the day passes. So you do not worry about it. So live by my own effort. That means I have to work, and from the earnings of my work, I will live with that. Even if you take our Maharishi, he lived with his efforts until the age of 95. He will take class until even he was taking, I remember, even at the age of 93 or 94, he was taking classes. And he said that I am working, I'm doing my job, I'm giving my knowledge to the people. Based on that, they are giving money, and I am living only with that money. He used to say those words. And then what else the needed he will take, like the clothes. He was having like 2 or 3 sets of clothes, and he will eat a very small amount of food, and he live in one single room, one bedroom, like one room, one kitchen, and one bathroom. That's it. So for that, I'm taking money, and the remaining things I'm giving it to the other people. He usually say these words. So that means you have to live with your own efforts. You have to work. It's not like simply sleeping and getting money from the parents or the elders or ancestors and we are utilizing it. It's not like that. We have to work. We have to gain money and we have to live in that. Not only that, we have to give it to other people and will not harm anyone. We should not harm anyone, not even the insects and not even the one cell organism. We should not harm. So usually Maharishis say that, okay, one question was there mosquitoes are there. How can I, patch up this mosquito because it's biting me because I need to save myself. Okay, Maharishi said, okay, now the science has developed, the six senses are developed. Try to protect your house from the mosquitoes by placing the mosquitoes net and the incense, whatever incense we can use it in order to keep away the mosquito. You can use a natural incense like neem leaves and everything, so that that will keep away the mosquitoes rather than killing them. So you should not harm anyone. And the third thing is we will not kill anything for eating. This is very, very important. Of course, when I was trying to do the meditation, I was not, adjust with this third point. I'm just sharing my experience. I'm not, okay with this third point. I thought that in the age of 20 plus, I thought that I need some animal protein. But, when I read the Maharishi's books, the life history, the point, the way that he has explained is the one thing which made my mind is he said each and every living organisms, whether it is one cell organs or the six sense organ, each and every living organism has the right to live in this world because everything is manifested from the God. It's like transformation. If you take the rice, if you leave the rice in the water for 3 days to 1 week, a small bug will come from that. From where it comes from? It comes from the proteins of the rice as well as the water. So that means the transformation happens. So one sense organs transformed into the two sense organ. So like that, the two sense transform to three sense, and then they transform until six sense. The transformation, one is comes from the other. So everything is manifested from the divine power, the absolute space. That means each and every living organism has the right to live. So we don't have right to kill those uh, the living organisms, because when you are killing, you are ending up their lives. We are ending up their lives by killing them, because since they have the right to live in this world, if someone comes and kills us, what we will say? We will pass the negative energy waves that I have the right to live in this world and this person is coming and killing me. But this is not fair. This is not right. Right? At the same time, we are killing them and taking as a food. That's the second sin. So Maharishi, our guru, says that these two sins is the basic thing for all the problems in which the human is facing nowadays. The killing other organisms and taking them as a food. These two sins. Say, for example, if you're killing a goat or whatever may be, and while killing a goat, definitely the sound, you might have heard the sound which is coming from the goat or hen, whatever may be, it's like a negative vibration. It creates a negative uh, energy, and that energy definitely affects the person who kills. Not only affect the person who kills, and that negative energy will be stored in its magnetic energy, in its Mooladhara, and that will be transferred into the people who are eating those flesh. So that means those kind of imprints will be affect our Muladhara. If I'm eating those kind of good, then that will affect my Muladhara, and then that will change. That will do change in my magnetic field, and that magnetic field will change my DNA in course of time. This won't happen in a single day or two. In course of time, the changes will happen, and that leads to a lot of problems in our life. We do not know the reason why and for what this is happening, but we have sufferings in our life. All these are there. So once our six senses are developing, once our civilization are developing, we have to reform our action. Okay, our ancestors have done all those kind of things, and we need to reform our actions, whether it's needed or not, whether it is necessary or not, whether we need to do reforms or not. We need to do reforms. And this particular, the third point, will not kill for eating. It's not accepted by most of the people, but till then we have to wait until they should accept it. We should not forcefully do all those things. Even suppose if you are eating non-vegetarian, you can't leave it all in one day saying that I don't kill eating. But the thing is, you should understand the concept. We should understand, make ourselves understand why we should not eat. Once your soul realizes the concept, then you will automatically leave the eating of non-vegetarian. So this point, do not give more stress on it. You try to do meditation, you try to do exercise, and you try to read the books of the Maharishi, the life history of autobiography of Maharishi. Then one on fine day, definitely the negative, the evil things will go automatically from you. A question was asked to Maharishi whether I can eat vegetarian or non-vegetarian, which is good food. He said that vegetarian is good for doing meditation, and he doesn't say that non-vegetarian is bad. And then he said, what our Maharishi said, that you decide yourself. You decide yourself according, then uh, uh, you can take the food, because you are the one, you are the right person to decide what you want to eat. But if you do the meditation, if you do the exercise, automatically this meditation and introspection will help you to take the good food rather than the bad food. So this is what the explanation given by Maharishi. So, and you should respect and protect others' property and liberty. That's very important. Protect others' property, like we should respect others' wife, others' husband, and we should respect their liberty. We should not incorporate a bad thoughts on them, right? So others' property, like say for example, before marriage, wife is also another property. So once we get married, uh, it's not like property. I don't wish to compare wife as property, because it's a living organism which is manifested from God. I'm just giving an example, like, so whatever the thing we should protect, we should respect and protect. We should not dominate others. That's what I mean to say here. And we should, respect the liberty of, the others, whoever may be, the wife or kids or whatever, maybe we should respect them, and the helping others in their distress. So here the people, most of them are taking advantage when they are in distress. They are trying to help, and they are taking advantage on them by means of money, by means of skin, or whatever may be. But that should not be happen. So we should help them when they are in distress, in order to overcome from their distress, and that should not lead to a problem or another kind of problem. So these are the five moral code which we should follow in our daily life. And once you do all those meditation, all those kind of things, then definitely these five moral principles will automatically will be embedded in our life, and we will follow it. And this reformation and thought should be there always, always in our mind. In order to implement the fivefold moral culture, the committee of intellectuals should be formed. Of course, it has been formed in the earlier, and they are following it up. A research team was there. And what Maharishi said is everywhere, it should be, the committee should be there everywhere. and we shall say for the betterment of life. What is betterment? That we should follow it up. By feeding this thought, reform is always needed for human life. It's always needed. So, with confluence of proper time and place, many actions came up in the past. So, if any of those actions is not palatable today by thought and experience, we should avoid them. Yeah, the decision what we are taking now will not match after 30 years. The decision what our parents did will not match for us. The same thing will happen to our kids also. So the reform should be happen. So this is what our Maharishi explained it. And the twofold moral culture is I shall not inflict pain upon others physically or mentally. Whether physical, if you scold someone, it will affect them mentally. So we should not give pain mentally or physically by beating. Beating is physically mean. So I shall strive to help those distressed in all possible ways. So these are the two full moral culture that we should follow. The one thing is I will help others in that distress, whether they are in the distress whether they are asking help or not. Voluntarily, I have to go and help them. At the same time, I should not be in trouble when I am helping others. That should also be taken into an account. I should not be in trouble because you know the cause and effect. So if I'm trying to help, what will be the cause and what will be the effect, and that cause should not affect me. So in such a way you should modify your help, and I should not inflict pain others physically or mentally. So these are the two more moral culture that we should follow it, and let us refine our culture and earn the good will of all. So with this, I'm just ending it up, our Maharishi's words, and I hope you're completing introspection 3. And I wish all of you try to go for the next level, which is a Brahmanyanam. You will get to know many things, and more things you will learn about the traveling of the astral bodies, as well as traveling to the space, everything, and try to incorporate in your life, and try to teach your kids also, so that they will also live their life happily. So with these words I conclude my speech and wish all of you enlightenment of consciousness, good experience, satisfaction in your life, and enjoy peace and happiness always. வாழ்க வளமுடன். வாழ்க வளமுடன். Be blessed by the divine. So we have 10 more minutes to go further. If you have any questions or something else, please go ahead.
Good morning. Be blessed by the divine Aya.
Good morning, Amma. Be blessed by the divine. It's nice to see you both, Gulshan Singh Amma and Raji Amma, after a long time. Because last week I was busy with my, satsang speech. Please, Amma, go ahead.
Okay. Thank you, Aya. I was wondering, you mentioned that at Alia you have a research team. I'm curious to know what is it that they do? Are they like a think tank that advises us, or they release some guidelines? How do they work?
Actually, there is an R&D research team is there in Alia. So what their aim is, they are, the Maharishi have written a lot of books, like more than 100 books he has written, and he has his own speech, and the meditations in the CD format, and everything is there. They are doing a research in that, where else they can do the reforms according to the present situation. And they are doing PhDs, like, they are producing PhDs. We have so many universities in South India, like Bardar University, Bharadasan University. They have MPhil and PhD program in this yoga, the human excellence yoga, and they are doing research in that, and they are publishing papers in most of the journals, which is related to physics and quantum physics, and which is related to the chemical reaction. They are trying to incorporate our Maharishi's teaching to the physics, and they are trying to, uh, make themselves, trying to prove themselves how far our Maharishi's speech is related to the science. So they are doing, they are publishing many journals. Many people are publishing their work in the journals, and they are the one behind our regular meditation. Like what else should be done, and what are the words? Of course, the words are given by the Maharishi, but they are coining and how the meditation should be, and the timings of meditation. So how many minutes you have to do this, and everything, all these things comes from the research team. So if you want to say it exactly, they are behind the sky yoga, they are giving instructions, and the implementations are come from the teachers. So this is what they are doing it. And of course, if you need any guidelines, or you can get help from them. And if you want to participate in that, you can participate in that. But nowadays, they kept some what you call, like, as the minimum qualifications, like either you have to complete MSc PG in yoga, or you have to complete the master's course in the meditation, or you have to complete MPhil or PhD, I mean doctorate in the yoga for human excellence. Something, they kept some barrier, because many people are coming now, so they want the quality of people. And if you finish one of them, then you can participate in that research program. And we have a director for that research program too. So this is what happening there. I hope this helps.
This does. It's wonderful to know there is so much work going on all around Harishi's Gyan.
Yes, Amma,
Um,
yes.
all right. Um, this uh, I didn't realize this would be the last session for introspection level 3.
Mhm.
Curious to know, like, what do you recommend as next steps?
You mean for the meditation, Amma? For the meditation?
For introspection sessions,
Mhm.
this is
Uh,
the last
this is
session
the
you're
last,
saying.
yeah, this is the last session for intro. Usually, when I was doing my meditation, there was 4 introspections. Was there? We
Okay.
usually do one introspection per month. So 1 month gap will be there for practicing what we learned in those
Hmm.
introspection. But now they have reformed it, and they put all together the subject what we learned in 4 introspection. They put together, and they made it as 3 introspections. And after these 3 introspections, you can go for the higher level, which is the Brahmanyanam course. Brahman means the absolute space. Jnana means, knowing about the reality. So that's the next level of this. And after Brahmanyanam level, you will go for the master's course. Like once you finish the master's course, you are ready to lead the meditation, and you are ready to take the classes, like introspection classes. You are ready to take all those things, and you're ready to do the service in terms of speech. Of course, you can do service in all other means, but these are the next 2 levels here. After introspection 3, you have to go for Brahmanyanam, and then after Brahmanyanam, you will go for the master's course. Of course, these two things, they did it online. I hope this year, somewhere in the beginning, online from earlier, because those things they will do it from
Hmm.
earlier. We usually go for earlier to take in person before the COVID situation. But after the COVID, they stopped it, and they took once online. I remember, because I attended from here, from St. Louis. They did it online, and the masters who were in earlier, they took the courses, and then they stopped. I don't know for what reasons. And now I heard that they started in person again, and they started online also. But I'm not sure. You can get the help from your center. They will guide you to take participate in those things. And if it is in online, then it will be easier for us. easier for you to do.
Yeah,
I hope so.
correct. All right. Thank you, Aya.
Yes, yes, Amma, be blessed by the divine. I wish, because you both are, Raji Amma and Gulshan Amma, you both are very sincere. I know that you are following it up and you are clarifying most of your doubts. I wish definitely you follow the meditation. You just transform your ideas to your family and kids also, so that they will also
Mm.
get benefited from this concept. Be blessed by the divine.
Be blessed by the divine, Aya. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Actually, I have a question. This is regarding my this thing only. Uh, the thing is, like, in this journey, like, some as you said, we should not harm others, and we should try to help. uh, but sometimes you feel that the other person is just in the process of you helping them, the other person is just taking your advantage, and you realize that. So when is it that we should just stop? Where's the
Uh,
point that we should just stop?
Yes, Amma. This happens to me also so many times. That's what Maharishi said is, of course, we need to help it. Now, the situation is not like what we have it before 20 years of age. Yeah, so more kind of negative elements have grown up. So we should know the cause and effect. If you are trying to help them, what will be the effect will come for that person as well as to me. Whether will there be any harm will arise to me or not. Okay, of course, due to innocence also we might be doing some help. Due to innocence, if you're not aware of the because for the first time, if you're doing some help and you are not aware of the cause and effect, you did something and some negative things happens to humans, you should bless them and you should thank the god that the god has given you a beautiful, a good experience in your life. So based on that experience, you should not repeat second time. So you can think that, okay, so one of my sin imprint has gone away by this way. So you have to take it in a positive way, because some things we cannot rely on it, and we cannot judge. Even though if we know the cause and effect system, some effects we may not judge it. Some miracles may also happen. So at those time, if you are get affected, what you have to do it, okay, this is a good experience that the nature has given to me. So
Mm-hmm.
what I have learned, I will make it as an experience. Then I will not repeat this in my future, so that my one of my sin imprints have passed away. So you just take it in this positive way and bless the other person and bless yourself, and definitely you will be become calm and peace, and you will this will make you to lead a peaceful life further on.
Yeah. Thank you so much for the explanation. Thank you.
Yeah, be blessed by the divine. Be blessed by the
Be
divine. Okay, so be blessed by the divine. So if you have no questions, we'll go for the next session. The next session is a very beautiful session, very important session. The Karma Yoga, which is the end of the introspection three, and which will be taken by one of our Sky Master, Arunadi Anand Lakshmanan Naya. So I welcome him to take the Karma Yoga. Uh, be blessed by the divine Aya. I have given you the host Aya, so you can share your screen if you wish, and you can start Aya. Be blessed by the divine.
Thank you so much, Vinvish. Yeah, thank you so much. Let me
Be
share my
blessed by the
screen.
divine.
Be blessed by the divine. Let me share my screen.
Be blessed by the divine Aya. I have a call now, so you can go ahead, and once you finished, you can close it up Aya. Be blessed
Yeah,
by the divine.
sure, sure. Or can, can, okay, can you be able to see the screen?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Question
Yes,
number.
sir. Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, let us go. Let us start with the karma yoga. Thanks for joining this session. Very good morning to you. Be blessed by the divine. The karma yoga. Okay, we are going to discuss about the next 1 hour is karma yoga only. Karma means actions. Yoga means the connections. Okay, so the self, society, and nature. This is the self and society. There is a graph, right? So we are interconnected between ourselves, actually between self and society and self and nature. We are all connected. The life is the entire life is explained. The connection of self, so self and society, and self and nature. And in self, we are connected with our body and soul, and body, soul and mind. There is a connections between soul and mind. How we are going to we are going to discuss about this connections, how the interconnections are made. Okay, so aim of karma yoga is our life should have harmony, and we need a peace, and we need the harmony in body and mind, the pleasantness, right, for benefit in life. For our the aim of karma yoga is we are going to attain peace, and we do have a pleasant life. This is the karma yoga. So we have discussed about the connections, interconnections, right? How the interconnections are made. Okay, let's start about the body and the life energies. As I said, right, in self there is a connection between body and soul and mind, right? How the body and the life energies is nothing but soul. Okay, our body is made up of all life energy particles. Okay, if you do a mantra, if you chanting a mantra 1 or 2 times by seeing a book, then after some time you can without seeing a book, you can do the chanting. So all the chanting words are registered or recorded in your life energy particles. So that will help you to chant without seeing the book. So that recordings was there, right? So that recording will help you to chant the mantra without seeing the book. This is how we are connected, our body and life energy particles. Okay, so not only mantra, whatever the actions you do, whatever the words you are telling, whatever the right, whatever the things you are doing, those are registered every time. It is getting registered in your life energy particles, that will be transformed into your kids as well. Okay, so once we cross the age the 3 years old, then from the 3 years old to till now, every action is being registered and recorded in your life energy particles. So this is how body and life energies are interconnected. Okay, so so as I said, right, so if the not only from the 3 years old, we are getting the things from our parents as well. Not only parents, even when the man is born, when the from the in the actions of all the universe, all are registered in our life energy particles. Okay, that we will explain. I'm going to explain all the things, actually, how all the things are getting imprinted in our life energy particles. Okay, so let's start talk about this habits and wisdom, and also individual and the society. How we are connected to the self and society, how we are connected to the self and society, right? So we are getting the things from the society. In your home, if you just close your eyes, if you just look at the things around yourself in the home, lot of things you have. You may pay those things, but and each and everything we cannot manufacture by our own. We cannot right we cannot prepare all the things. We should buy, we should buy the things. So if you are thinking to manufacture the thing, or if you are going to create the thing in your home, for example water bottle or a cup, if you start manufacturing, then how much cost you have to spend for the manufacturing of single cup. So since we are connected to the society, our caste has been shared by all of the men in the society, so this is how we are connected with the society. We are, whatever the things are happening, whatever the things we are having, all are connected with the society. We have to think in that way. Okay. So and then the actions and the law of nature. So we have to understand the law of nature, as the question raised before starting the session. So what actually someone if we are following the right ways, someone will get advantage of us, and then they will do some bad things to us, right? So if we understand the law of nature, if you understand the law of nature, right, the earth is rotating, and the sun is the sun is throwing their light, sun is the and uh, all the sun is sun is rising, and our earth is rotating, and everything is happening with a proper disciplined action. All the planets are working in that way. Even whatever is happening, even if we explode some bombs, even if we explode, even if we heard a lot of things in the earth, but still earth is rotating, earth is uh, doing their doing their duty, uh, without any expectation. Earth is harmed by man, animals, and everybody, but still earth is doing their own duty. So yet, because earth is understand the law of nature, and this is my duty, this is how I, even somebody hurts also, I should do my duty. So this is the way we also do. So this is how we are going to discuss about. So what is the what are the actions we need to do, right? You will definitely get a proper, anyway you got answer from Venkatesha, yeah, but even then your mind will get streamlined after completing this session. Okay, so what I explained is here is, so far I just explained we are interconnected with in self, body, soul, and and mind, as well as we are connected with the society, and we are connected with the law of nature. Law of nature is nothing but, if you are growing a tree, then you will get a good year. If you're hurting the nature, then the nature will give some bad things to our society. So these are all the interconnected. So the interconnections are determined based on your actions. So interconnections, the yoga is nothing but connections, karma is nothing but actions. So your yoga, that if you want to have the proper interconnections, then your karma and your action should be in the proper way. So the yoga is nothing but is the result of action, is the appropriate way of result of action. So your karma should be proper. Your shanma karma should be in the virtuous way of life. Okay. So hope you all understand, right? Har karma and yoga. Karma is nothing but actions. Yoga is nothing but building the interconnections based on your actions. So this is called karma yoga. Okay. So how our actions will be: receptivity, perspicacity, creativity, adaptability, tolerance, simplicity, magnanimity. How the actions will be? Our actions should be in the receptivity. First of all, we have to accept all the things. Whatever is happening in the world, we have to understand the cause and effect of theory. If since all the planets are revolving around without any disturbance, love for thousands of millions of years, it is keep on rotating, and without doing anything wrong in it, right? So if those are all who is controlling those planets? Some force is there, right? You can imagine that. Yeah, I don't want to say any god actually. Yeah, some force is managing all the planets are revolving in the space in order in a correct manner, and in a disciplined manner, right? It revolves in their own orbit. Okay, so the how these are being controlled. Even if those are, if we imagine that if those are controlled by a universal force, then how the man can how a man is very very small compared to the planets, right? How the man can do some nonsense thing to us? How the how god how that force is being a silent when the other man is doing yeah, not false things to means the other person is doing it, the person third person is doing a harmful thing to the second person. How that universal force is allowing some background something was happening. Okay, so based on the result, this the second person is getting impacted by the third person, or the person is getting impacted by the third person. Some uh, uh, n- uh, s- I mean there's some results, some actually in the this is how the karma. Okay, because of their ancestors, the second person's ancestors, or second person's before they are born, right? Their ancestors would have done some nonsense things, or some other bad things for the person three. So now the person third person this person the third person is giving a giving some harmed things, or some other is hurting to the second person, which means that before born also, whatever our parents are doing, and our ancestors are doing, those are getting imprinted in their life energy particles. Those are getting transformed into our life also, into our body. So we should be ready to we should be ready our mind should be acceptable all these things. So this is called a receptivity. Okay, so so whatever the things is happening to our life, we just accept. This is called receptivity. Perspicacity. Perspicacity, right? Perspicacity in Tamil, in our Thiruvalluvar use this word, nunman nulaipulan. Yeah, this is called nunman nulaipulan அறிவு. That's what actually Thiruvalluvar said. Perspicacity. Perspicacity is nothing but, right, quick insight of the mind, quick insight of the mind, connecting past experience, present circumstances, and futuristic. Okay, we are also we this is the reason, right? In future also, our kids should not get impacted because of our actions. Because of our actions now we are hurting, we are getting hurt, we are not knowing the reasons, but because of our actions our kids also will get impacted. So we have to think about the futuristic and present circumstances. If our action is right, is acceptable in the present circumstances or not, that we have to think about it. In the past experience, so if I did this action, then in my past experience we are getting the bad results, so we should not do that. So that is called perspicacity. So our creativity thinking always should not harmful to others, not only man, even it should not affect our living beings, the other living beings as well. Whatever the rights we do have to live in the earth, the same rights also, the same rights for other living beings also will have the same rights. So we should not hurt others, we should not hurt any living beings as well. So that our creativity should be like that. Okay, so when I am talking about all these things, I'm concluding, right? with the right actions, with the right karma. So our deeds, make sure that our deeds should not harmful others. That is, we have to keep in our mind. Adaptability, tolerance. Adaptability, everyone knows about it, right? So whatever the things, even actually, right, if the winter comes, then we are changing our clothes, right? We are wearing some winter jackets, right? So because actually the adaptability is nothing but the consciousness. You are accepting the nature. Okay, in the winter season, without winter jacket I cannot, so we are wearing the winter jacket. We are not scolding, instead of wearing the winter jacket. If you are right, if you are start to scold, or if you are start to worrying about the winter season, then we can we live? No, we have to be adaptability. This is the same way in our life. If whatever the situations is happening, we have to adapt. We have to accept and adapt. Okay, the tolerance and simplicity, magnanimity. See, the tolerance, simplicity, we have to cut down our needs, some of the needs. Let some others can enjoy. This kind of thought we should have. That is called a simplicity. Okay. This is actually the simplicity, magnanimity, and tolerance, right? We do have a nishkamya karma. So if you are respecting the other needs, for example, we do have a kids. With the kids would have right. The kids we are helping to grow the kids, right? We are helping to survive them. We are spending some money for their education. So they're respecting the needs of others, cutting down own needs. Okay, we have to cut down our own needs. Okay, we should not right enjoy all the things from the society. We have to cut down some of the needs, whatever we can. Okay, helping the others constantly, we have to keep on helping. So these three things, right? Nishkami karma. Okay. So far, right? So karma yoga is nothing but actions. Based on your actions, your interconnections made. Okay, so your actions, how your actions? Adaptability, acceptability, right? Perspicacity. Okay, perspicacity as well, right? So this is what, right? The karma yoga is, karma means action, yoga means a virtuous life. So how you are going to achieve this acceptability, adaptability, creativity, simplicity, magnanimity, right? All these under virtuous life. Virtuous is right. The virtuous made your man, right? What you can say, right? The virtuous is nothing but, right, the morality, duty, and right, and charity. So if you for your actions should be in the virtuous way of life, right? Make sure that our actions should be this is karma means deeds and duty, yoga means virtuous in all deeds. In in all whatever the actions you are going to do, we have to make sure that we are following some morality. Okay, what are the actions we need to do? So that is called the duty, right? So we are born here in the universe. We are helping to others. We have to make, we are right, uh, mm, uh, after, right, for the first part of life, in the beginning we are getting some things, good things from nature. We are learning the things. We are getting some money, we are getting food, we are getting shelter, everything we are getting. After some time after 25 years, we are ready to give to nature by by doing our service, by learning the things. Once we learn the things, then we are ready to do the service, right? So the service, we are born here to do the service. Think about each and every man. Some is helping to travel from here to there. Some is helping money, some is helping us to learn the things. Some persons are helping to write to give the food farmers, right? So, so everybody is born for doing the service to other people, and as well as in our family, as well as others. So we have to understand that we born here, and as well as for doing this service, right? So karma yoga is nothing but, so we have to make an interconnection by doing our proper action. The actions should have follow the virtuality. They should follow, make sure that we should follow the virtuality, means there should be in the virtue. Okay, so the virtue is right. We have in the karma yoga, we have two principles: sense of gratitude, awareness of the consequences. I will tell you why. What are the two principles? Okay, so the gratitude. So before doing the actions, right, it's a very first, as I said, right, keep on doing the actions in a proper way. Actions should follow the virtuous way, right? Respecting the origin, expressing gratitude to divine state, plants, women, and the workers. We are having enough things, or we are having the surplus things for living our life. But we are keep on thinking that what we don't have, we should be gratitude what we are having, right? So if you think about the other persons, right, n number of persons, even they don't have the proper shelter, proper food, they are not getting the proper food. But if we are getting the proper food and shelter on whatever we have, we should be gratitude. This is the very first action we should follow, the gratitude, right? So as I said, right, duty, it's our duty and under the action. First action is gratitude, and then second action is right, our duties: self, family, relatives, country, world. What are the duties for doing for ourselves? Yes, for making connection, as I said, right, for making proper connections. If you do a exercise on your body, right, that is the duty for ourselves. If you are taking the good food with the right quantity, that will not harm your body. So, as I said, right, our actions should not harm anybody else, even for self as well as the others. If you're taking more food, then we are harming our body, ourselves. So here, this is called the karma. Your actions should not harm, yeah, should not harm yourself. Then you can connect yourself. Your body will be your body, right? Whenever, even in your old age, also the body will help. The body can help you to move, to go, to do your duties without any help. So this is called, you have to connect your body. Okay, so these are the duties for yourself. And also in the self, right, mind, as I said, right, mind and soul connections, right? So when you do have a good thoughts, when you do meditate, then your mind will be get streamlined, right? So this is how the body and soul. So if you do have a good thoughts, the thoughts are registered in your life energy particles, the soul. If you do some good actions, then those will be registered in your soul. It will get imprinted in the soul, right? So those souls, right, will be transferred, or will be, though your kids also will carry those imprinted actions. If you do meditation, if you do good things, those good things, right, your kid will enjoy the result of those good actions. So this is called the self. This is called the self duty. So we have to learn some good things. We have to do some good things for right, because we know our actions are registered, or is going to imprinted in our life energy particles. So this is called the self duty. And family, we have to work for our family. We have to help our family. We have to take care of our family. That is the second thing. We have to make a peace in our family by doing our actions. So when I am talking about all the right, all the connections or interconnections, I am keep on talking about right, actions. The karma is nothing but actions, to make sure that our actions should be in the virtuous way. So relatives. even, right? Then the third important point is relatives. We have to make relations. We have to make a relations by giving some sweet words, and right, some by helping others, by helping our relatives as well as. Okay, country is nothing but society. World is also country, and world is right, are in our society. We have to, we are, since we are right, since we are getting a lot of things from the society, we are overdue of society. We have to repay to the society. So that, right, we have to survey our country. What kind of survival we have to do? Now, our actions should not harm our country. We can grow the trees, or you can right, you can help some other people in the world or country. You can give, one day you can give food. So these are all the things you can do some charity. All these things we have to do. So these are the 5 duties. Okay. So far, right, I covered, right, so far I covered karma, yoga. So yoga is nothing but interconnection. So we have to make the interconnections, self, society, and our nature, right? So we how we can interconnect it? Be doing our actions. Okay. So as I said, right, duties are realizing the fact that society has provided everything. So lot of things, if you sit in the home and so look at around the look at around the things right around you, you can have a lot of things. Might be you would have paid, but as I said, right, each and every product is shared. The cost, is sharing by our society people. So we have to. It's our thought. It's our duty to repay to society. Okay. So if you're not doing our duty, if you're not doing our duty properly, then we may ended up with this poverty. When dues are not repaid, it leads to poverty. This is the reason the poverty is happening. So Swamiji used to say that whenever you wake up, you have to list up the things about the service. You should be ready to do the service. The universe may help you on all the things, for to make you to get all the things. So we always should be ready to do the service to your kids, to your colleagues, to your workers, I means to others in the to your relatives, and other people in the world. So this is the, so when the moment you wake up, you have to think about that. Okay, today I am here, today I'm going to live in the world, so I should be ready to do the service. So this is the thought, yeah, the first thought you should have, you should carry. Then, right, whatever comes, whatever you are facing, right, then your actions, whenever you are going to do the actions, right, then you will get an enjoyment. Okay, today I'm going to do the service. Today I'm going to do the help. So then you will get an enjoyment whenever you are doing the service, or whenever you are doing any actions. So as I said, right, body and the mind assets of the society. So the intellectual, individual, nurtured and nourished by the society, right? If you understand the society, if you understand the society, then right, we we are right. We should be very cautious about our actions. So the body and the mind assets of the society. Uh, how the body can be asset of the society? With your body, right, if you right, if you do some good actions, if you learn some good things in your childhood age, right, if you learn something good things, with the learning you can do the service. So now, for example, if you are somebody is serving in the militarians, yeah, so their body is helpful, right? Somebody, right, with the help of our body, we can actually we can do the service. The mind is most important thing. You have to be always a good thinking about the world, right? We have to think about that. The corona should go away from the world. The corona, this is the right, even if you cannot do anything, that's not an issue. But we have to think in our mind, all good things should happen in the world. Okay, so the people should come, should escape from the whatever the bad things are happening to them, right, in their life. So those good thoughts, those helping thoughts, we have to bring that. So that is the assets of the society. The society is nothing but all the person's right duties, all the person's thoughts. Your thoughts will be converted to action. So if you're right, so always, right, always, this is the reason, right, our Guruji is saying that even if you don't do any action, you please use this word, be blessed by the divine, be right, yeah, this வாழ்க வையகம் வாழ்க வளமுடன் means that you have to keep on blessing the world, be blessed by the divine, the you have to bless the world. If you chanting those words, right, then that will help, that will, right, because if you're chanting something, if you're chanting the god, our mantras, right, mantras is helping, is registering in our body, and helps to get the energy from the cosmic, right. This is the same thing, it will happen in the world also. So we have to make sure that our thinking also should be good. These body and the mind are only the assets of the society. Okay. So, right, the dignified family life accomplishes more than saintly or priestly orders, right? This is the Kural actually we have, but yeah. So as I said, right, excellence of being grateful. See the unity of world in every morsel of food. Pay back your dues through deeds that are good. Okay. Uh, we have to always, we are, as I said, right, we have to do our good deeds that are good deeds only. Okay. uh, we are paying back to our society with our good deeds. Okay, so that is what we have to do that. So this is the reason, right, this is the reason, right, our Swamiji is saying that karma yoga is the world religion. It could be, it should actually, we have to consider that karma yoga is a religion. Even all religion, what is what they are teaching? Awareness of God, awareness of virtues, right? Awareness of God is nothing but, yeah, the basics of religion. So we have to worship the God. First we have to worship the God. Second thing, the awareness of virtues. Virtues is nothing but morality, duty, and charity, right? So how you can how you can worship the God? The worshipping of God is nothing but uh, watching about by helping others. If you help others, and you can see the God from their smile, right? So this is called the worshipping of gods. So the help means it's an action. So this is called karma yoga. Our beloved, our Gurujis used to say that karma yoga is the only one religion which we need to follow. The karma yoga, that will attain your religious concepts. Your religious concept is understanding the means the awareness of God, or seeing the God, right? For seeing the God before if you want to see the God, right, then you have to realize yourself. That means the realization of God is our motive, is the more is the motive of religious theory, right? Our all religious theory, right? That you can achieve if you are following the karma yoga. The karma yoga is nothing but based on your right, the morality is not inflicting. If your actions should not hurt, or if you're telling the word that will not hurt any of the inflicting a pain or injury to any others, physically or mentally, right? So we have to make sure that our actions should be in a proper way. We should not hurt others. We should not our actions should not inflict any pain. So that is called morality. Okay, in each and every so that should have, right. um, in we should be awareness, we should have more, we should have awareness of the actions, our actions, right, should not hurt or should not give any pain to others. Then And duty, as I said, right, our it's a duty to ourself, society, and as well as family, relatives, right? So we are getting a lot of things, so we have to repay. So this is charity. The morality, duty, and charity is the we used to say that, right, in Tamil we used to say that aram, ஈதல், ஈதல், இரவாமை, மகிழ்வோகம். இது ஒழுக்கம், கடமை, ஈதல். இது இந்த மூன்றும் அறம். So that is called the morality, duty, and charity are called, yeah, virtuous life, virtuous way of life. Okay, virtuous is nothing but we have to follow the morality, we have to do our duty, and we have to do charity. So this is how we can reach our God. So how we can morality means actions, duty is also action, charity is also actions. So your actions should be in the way of virtuous life, way of virtuous way of life. Then you can reach the God. Okay, the result of action is called God. If you, for example, right, if you are growing a tree, then, right, the result, what we are getting, we can, your air, the atmospheric air is getting purified. That is called God. That is called the consciousness. We know, actually, the actually, right, if you are growing a tree, then we are getting an atmospheric air, that is called consciousness. That consciousness is nothing but God. Okay, so even if you are worshiping a idol in your temple, even if you are worshiping an idol, and then once you reach home, you can still think about that idol, right? You can bring the image, you can bring that imagination, you can bring that idol image in your mind. So how that image is coming in your mind? Because when you see the idol in your temple, that idol image is imprinted in your life energy particles. So when you think about the God, immediately that idol shape is coming. That is called nothing but consciousness, right? The same consciousness, when you're doing a proper action, when you're doing actions in a morality way, when you're doing your duty without missing, when you're doing the charity, then you can reach the God. Okay, so that's why, right, karma yoga, he's saying that karma yoga is a only one religion which we need to follow. Okay, so this development of consciousness or identification of yourself, right? If you understood, right, our action should be in a moralized, our action should be moralized. We should not miss our duty. We are right, we keep on helping others. If we understood, then we are right, we are understanding the nature, we are understanding the society. So understanding this society, understanding the nature, understanding, if you're doing the proper exercise, proper meditation, proper thoughts, then we are understanding ourselves. So understanding self, understanding the society, understanding the nature, the karma yoga, right? Karma yoga is giving this and this kind of understanding. This whole bunch of understanding is nothing but consciousness. That consciousness is God. So this is the way you can attain, you can reach the God. That's why karma yoga is the religious which everyone need to follow. You don't need to do all the right all the chantings, all the in the actually in our religious, right, we are keep on, right, we have to do lot of things, right, for worshiping a God. For worshiping God, we have to do a lot of things, right? But instead of that, if you are giving the importance to your actions, right, if you don't miss the duty, if you keep on charity, if you're doing the moralized way, then that will help you to that will, right, the result of actions is coming as a God. So that's why actually this is called the karma yoga. The results for every action, every deed brings a result in its wake in accordance with the divine laws. It is certain. Eating is a human deed transforming into the seven body constituents, an act of the divine. As I said, right? So the action, the result is required according to the time and place. The result may be pain or pleasure. Okay, whatever the actions you are doing. Sometimes, right? Right? Even 20 to 45 years, 20 to 40 years, you may eat, you would have taken a lot of carbohydrates, so that will not affect your health. But after some time, 40 years, then what doctor is saying, please avoid some carbohydrates because it will increase your glucose level in your blood, right? But the same thing is right, is giving a pleasure at one time, it is giving a pain at the other time, right? So the time and right, the time is most important thing. Even actions are same, we have to, right? So we have to be make sure that our actions, what time we are doing, so whether it will hurt or not. So that actually, that awareness we should have. So whenever you are doing, this is the reason, right, we have to learn the karma yoga. So when you are doing any actions, we have to think about the three things. That is called the right, perspicacity, right? As I said, perspicacity. So the time, and based on the time and right, time is very matter, time and place is very matter. We cannot, right, if you're going to other country, right, we cannot have the Indian food, right? So or right, whatever the regular food we are taking in our life, that we cannot get it in the other places. So right, that time the adaptability should come, so so our actions, right, whenever we are doing any actions, we should have that awareness. So that's why the seven traits we have to follow: adaptability, acceptability, receptivity, right? Then right, so the based on our actions, as I said, right, the result may be according to time and place. The result may be pain or pleasure, but we have to understand that the result is nothing but God. Okay, so that why, right, the concepts of common yoga, karma yoga are ideal for being considered as a religion common to people all over the world. So this is how, right, our Swamiji is used to say that, okay, his aim, his thought is every individual should follow this karma yoga as a religion. So that's why. So how we can? So even, okay, I can say, okay, our thought should be acceptable, adaptability, and everything. Right? How we can do that? How we can achieve that? With the practice, of meditation, with the practice of introspection, right? As you said, right, in the questions, in the beginning of the meeting, if somebody is hurting others, right, because of our right, the sin imprints, the because of the imprints in our life energy particles. If our parents or right, our grandparents are doing were doing some other things, right, some sin things, okay, that will get imprinted in our parents, and then we are getting those things are transferred into our body, and we are supposed to right, get the result of those things, right? So how we can remove those inputs? We cannot remove it, but we can overcome by doing an introspection and meditation, right? We can write, we can overcome the good thoughts. We can overcome those by doing some good actions. So with the help of action, with the help of good actions, this we can eradicate the imprints, the sin imprints. We can eradicate the sin imprints. Okay. So that's why, right, every time we used to do the introspection. So yeah, today I did some things. Or every night we used to do that, this introspection. Today I did something. Did I hurt anybody else? Or did I hurt any okay. If I hurt, right, then I should not do the same thing in the next day. Okay. So this is how we used to do the introspection. Okay. With the help of meditation, if you do meditation, if you are making a silence for the 30 minutes, then your body is right, your body and mind, your mind is getting purified. If your mind is getting purified, then you will have a good thoughts. If you have a good thoughts, then you'll do the good actions. If you do exercise in your body, then your body yeah, will have a it won't get any disease. The body will not have any disease. You are free from the disease. If you are free from the disease, then you are eligible. You have enough strength to do the service in your society. So the body, for making the body, for making good body and for making your good mind, you have to do the meditation. You have to do the exercise. With the help of these two things, then you can follow the karma yoga. You can achieve the karma yoga. You can attain the God by doing some good actions. Okay, this is how, right, to avoid increasing distress. And right, so as I said, right, we have to follow the Kundalini yoga, realizing the fact what is happening in the nature. So what is happening in the eternal space, what is Brahman. So everything you can understand this Kundalini yoga if you follow, right? So now once we understand the Brahman, once we understand the eternal space, then we are very cautious in our action. These actions, right, these are the right, these are the right core and goal of each and every religion. Okay, actually, to achieve the God, to realization ourselves. This is the core and goal of every religion. But these, right, these will be right if you follow the karma yoga, we can achieve that core and goal, right? So karma yoga is nothing but, right, is emphasizing your duties. That's called, right, the karma yoga. See, observe the concept. When you pray to God himself, you will find is the concept. This is the most important thing, right? uh, Observe the concept when you pray to God. As I said, right, when you're praying an idol in the temple, and if you come to home, then the you can still visualize the idol, right? So that is nothing but it is a consciousness, right? So even, right, the insight to judge good and bad enables one to identify the elements of virtuous life. Okay, so if virtuous life, as I said, morality, duty, we should not miss duty. Our actions should not hurt any others. That is morality. And we keep on we keep on doing the charity. So that is, right, the insight to judge good and bad enables one to identify. If we are keeping, right, if we are doing these things, then we can judge what is good and what is bad. So if we understand the good and bad, then our actions, then we can do our proper action. Then we can achieve the connections, interconnections. That is called karma yoga. Okay, so right, as I said, right, even actually you may all these chaos, even all these chaos, all this nonsense are created by in the world are created by man only. So man has to understand. So man has to understand. He has to, right. He has to correct their actions. He has to correct their deeds. Okay. So how we can achieve, as if you talk about, right, in overnight it will not happen. So we have to follow. We have to do the meditation. We have to do the keep on exercise, and also, right, in society also everybody should join their hands and changing the method, raising the method of children, a better process of political administration, better process of education, better process of industrial management. Today, industrial management, what they are doing, I want to sell more, I want to sell more. Okay, so they are in the politicians, they have only money and power. Even, right, even all religions, right, initially the religious are brought to to improve the mankind, to improve the to improve our actions in a proper way. But now religious documents are contaminated by adding some pictorial stories with a by greedy or in a inefficient way. So the religious, right, they are using the religious for doing the fighting or for harming others. But that is not the goal of religious. Religious is, oh, we have to attain the God, but attaining the God, it's only with the proper actions. So that is why the karma yoga. Actually, we have a 10 rules. If you write, we have to respect God, we have to realize is the omnipresent, we have to realize the nature, constant awareness, constant, we are keep on doing the constant awareness. That is called introspection. Okay. Observe moderations in food, work, rest, sex, and thoughts. Lead a virtuous life. And that is actually morality, duty, and charity. Okay. Once fulfill one's duties to self, family, relatives, country, and world diligently. And the most important thing is that treat mankind with respect. Okay. That is most important thing actually. This is how actually for right for treating mankind with respect, right? In India, actually, we are the Mahabharata and Ramayana. Even right, everyone knows about Sita's life, everyone knows about the Panchali life, right? Sita's actually, once Sita born, the that nation got all the food. Before that, it was actually, there was no food, there was no rain, and it looks like it was kind of desert. After Sita born, everything we got. Because of actually these kind of stories are telling to us to respect the womankind, to treat womankind as a to respect woman. So even Sita and Panjali also. Okay. So when Duryodhan touches actually, right, Panchali, then his life is this life, his end date is as marked for his life, right? So when Ravanan touches actually Sita, then his life is also getting ended. So we have to respect women. So this is the reason that the Mahabharata and Ramayana taught to us. Okay, so that is the one thing. So giveaway. So you please write help to your kids also, right? Ask them to learn Mahabharata and Ramayana, right, for treating the woman as, with more respect. So, and practice meditation, introspection, and right, spiritual verification. Okay, uh, any deed, right, becomes all we discussed. Okay, so be blessed by the divine. If you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you.
Thank you, Anantaya. Be blessed by the divine. Beautiful, beautiful presentation. And I especially like the way you categorize the thoughts. So it really helps then with logical self introspection. Um, a comment that really kind of touched me is when you said that um, the results of action are God. The
Yeah,
smile that you see when you serve someone as God. That really is a perspective shift for me. So thank you so much.
yeah, sure.
Um, and you mentioned about this idea of constantly evaluating things and hence knowing what is good and bad. I want your thoughts on the idea that once we make this a practice, that's what leads into perspicacity. Is that
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Correct, correct, correct. Yes, yes. Yeah, like the constant awareness, right? The present circumstances and futuristic, and right, with the help of past experience, then actually our actions, right? Our actions will be in the right way. Yeah, that is called. Yeah, you are right.
Beautiful. Can we have access to your presentation?
Yeah, you want this? You want this PDF or PowerPoint, right? You need
Yes.
this PowerPoint. Yeah, definitely. If you reach out to Prabhu Ayya, right, you can get it. But
Okay.
otherwise, if you don't
Uh-huh.
get it, actually, please ping me. You hope you do. You have my number from. You can get it from Anita, right?
Sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh-huh.
If you don't get it, actually, you please let me know. I will share it. And if you share my, if you give a WhatsApp message, definitely I will share it immediately.
Perfect. I appreciate
Yeah,
that. Thank you so much, Ian. Be
no
blessed
problem.
by the divine.
Be blessed by the Lord.
Thank you so much. It was really very helpful. So thank you and be blessed by the divine.
Thank you, Ma. Thank you. Okay. So if you don't have any questions, we can conclude the session. Thank you so much. Okay.